over the University of Denver, and we're ready to roll here in Ohio.
That win, a huge win for Minnesota to really pull their shoulders back, pump their chest out, feel confident. Like I said earlier, not the start they wanted, but 5-2 in their last. Beckley's been giving Minnesota some quality minutes. The back end. You talked about Tanner Ludke. He has been
one team with a shot on goal. Middlestat, that high shot over the blocker there and off the glass, and it's cleared by Wise. Finn McLaughlin paired up with Cal.
Go down and then pop back up and square up.
Lamb from the draw, another shot on goal. Minnesota averaging just over 25 shots. Draft choice of the Nashville Predators, Rombach. Zemer dislodges it right in front. Luke Middlestat patiently there, looks off the shot.
Good job by the Buckeyes collapsing.
Paulson again attacking. Again going glove side. Everly was ready.
Out high. You have to be careful you don't get caught too far from that net, but so far a successful kill.
Columbus. Sabo from the point. And DePasquo. There's the aforementioned James Hong. Back to Montez. Dropping to Burnside. Burnside, the high shot. Grabbed by DePasquo. 6:53 remaining in the first period here in the Ohio State camp.
Fender.
Ohio State has
a red line. Impressive.
5 minutes to go in the first period. Javon Moore dropping to Tanner Ludke. Ludke right in front. Just off the stick of Pritchard and wide. He was perched in the right spot. Cal Thomas fires. And that's stopped too, but it looks like a key. So far Minnesota on the perimeter. That shot off a shin pad and wide. Now Mooney down low. Squirts back to the point.
The net front guy for a one-timer is a right-handed player.
Middlestat down to Lamb. Zemer twirls it back for Middlestat. Mooney the shot. It goes wide. Squirting in front. Down the puck. But it's recovered by Ohio State here. Minute 22 to go in the period. Shoved in front. Missing that one-timer was Hong. He was set up by Montez. Mo, an opportunity to clear it.
Nobody knows where the puck is. In somebody's gear. Did it go over this?
Down. It's Felix Caron now on for Davis Burnside. Burnside trying to go through the legs of Middlestat. That didn't work out. And it dribbles to DePasquo. Thompson trying to show those hands against DePasquo, melting that puck down, and we're starting to see a little of this now for the first time. The period.
Rombach in there. I don't know who he's got in the headlock, but looks like he's gonna twist his helmet straight off. Thompson came in there for a minute before the officials separate him. That was Caron. As you see things, here's Rombach on your left. Secures the stick. And then just boys will be boys. They'll sit for those activities. They'll fulfill the remainder of their.
Ohio State number 13. Both 2 minutes.
First period comes to a close.
Yeah, both teams had an opportunity to. 4-on-4 hockey will Clark to Brody Lamb to be able to shoot that puck.
Here's William Smith. Dropping for Montez. McBrayer there was the outlet now. Winding up. Max Montez. He can wheel. Ludke in pursuit. Gives to Hong. Hong the shot. Scores! Dribbles in. Ohio State finds the first one.
Well, the patience of Nathan McBrayer, the defenseman, pulling this puck back. drops it to Hong, who builds up speed as Minnesota was going through a change in the neutral zone. Dishes over to Hong, who releases it. A fortuitous bounce there for Max Montez. His speed finds its way behind the Gopher defense. Pasquo out challenging with some.
Axel Bagley dropping for Paulson, fires it wide.
Paulson had Eberle shifting to his right. Tried to go back against the grain there.
Here's Burnside through the legs of Bagley there. The Pasquo has it wrapped up.
There's Riley Thompson in, just trying to sniff around for any sort of rebound.
Pritchard. Javon Moore, now it's Lutke. Trying to go back to Moore, but broken up by Carabella. Jake Dunlap, one man back. It's Cal Thomas. Dunlap gets taken down. Hard into the wall goes Jake Dunlap.
Dunlap's hurt there. I was watching both officials closely to see if they're going to put their hand up.
Here at Minnesota. Good strength at the blue line to keep it in. Down to Lamb. Looking to backhand it to Lutke. Lutke was tripped. Might have been a break there for Hong and the Buckeyes not to take a penalty. .65 seconds to go in the advantage as the captain gallops forward. This is Middlestat. Zemer and Lamb trying to hold in. They do so. Eberle funnels it up the wall. There's Lamb to seal the wall. Middlestat, the quick release. Zemer drives it, scores! There's the lightning quick release from Brody Zemer. It's a power play goal, and Minnesota has leveled the score.
Oh my, how about the fast hands of Brody Zemer? Unbelievable how quick he was able to release this puck. Eberle shrugging and going down a little to the left there. Beats him high to the stick side. Catches this puck on his backhand. And then shimmies it over the up.
Thompson now to Caron. He's got a step. Felix Caron, the high shot, shouldered away there by DePasquo. Pritchard on the counter. There's Lutke. Lutke to Pritchard. Put wide there by Javon Moore. Good crisp puck movement by Minnesota. Lutke, Minnesota. Great job to keep the puck in. Moore, little razzle-dazzle pass. Doesn't work on sport besides hockey.
Well, those two have a match before the start of every game. And it's right before they start.
Will Horkoff there for the University of Michigan, National Player of the Month.
What a start he's had.
Gordon to his left, but Mason Moe with that long reach, breaking things up. Moe to Lamb. Lamb cuts in. That shot. It's in. Minnesota squeezes it in.
That went off the stick of Teddy Townsend off the Brody Lamb pass. The official never put his hand towards the goal, signifying a goal. However, it did end up behind Eberle. I would imagine they're going to have to head into the scorer's area and take another look at this one.
The previous play is under review.
See, Brown quite calm. Be interesting to see. Oh, this is a great angle. Through the 5-hole there and then off the left leg, and then it scoots in. Yeah, kind of rides the heel. So I'm not sure who it hits up out of our screen. It isn't likely the Gopher player, but maybe the Buckeye player there coming through second once the Buckeye defenders. Wow. Quick decision.
After video review, the puck completely crossed the goal line. We have a good goal.
Yep. Big break for Minnesota. Everybody's giving Mason Moe the stick taps. Take a look here again. There was Moe. So Moe probably last touched it, is what they're saying on the left side of the goal here.
So 2 unanswered goals from the Gophers.
That's a tough one for the Buckeyes. tries to swallow.
Smith redirection there from Thompson. Wow, difficult one there for DePasquo to follow right after a shift that saw a goal.
Hugely important save just to try to keep. I was speaking with the NHL executive this week about Riley Thompson. They said, look, when the puck is below the dots, he's an NHL player. What they want from him is, can he be an NHL player through the neutral zone?
Beckett Hendrickson brings it off the post.
Into, even spreading that puck more. Can he increase his speed?
On the rebound, there's Beckett Hendrickson from his knees. All of a sudden, it's a 2-goal advantage for Minnesota.
Wow. The crowd was silenced with the first goal. Then all of a sudden, there's a new level of just air being let out of the balloon here in Columbus. We talked about the tenacious nature of Beckett Hendrickson. Gets hit here. Where does he go? You go to the front of the net. You go to the areas where you're going to get hit. The defender spins by. Beckett stops on that one and is paid off for it. Rombach, nice release. Down through traffic. Kids at home.
Wise back to Dunlap. Sabo looking back door. He had Gordon going there. It's DePasquo wrapping that puck for a faceoff.
Minnesota comes in, goes hunting.
It's Rombach. Townsend loses it. Riley Thompson. Thompson to Burnside. Just couldn't get the shot off.
He's created out of that.
Felix Caron now brought in. Sabo tries to go back to Caron. Missed connection. Burnside. One-timer there. That's golfed wide by Caron. Sabo holding in. Buckeyes are buzzing a little bit here, down by 2 goals. Sabo.
One of the wingers should give Mason Moe a stick. I mean, kind of through the sequence of events, Mason Moe is more important than the left wing or the right wing.
Shoved in front, and it's Felix Caron through the 5-hole, cuts the Minnesota lead to 1.
Felix Caron's been impactful all game long. We talked about his skating. Pops out in the high slot there to make himself an option on this play. And then he's going to go right down the slot area and is collected and pulled and springs a leak in the 5-hole there of the Minnesota netminder. Still a bit confused why someone didn't identify that the center, Mason Moe, needed a stick. Well, you got to build speed through the neutral zone, and I think that's what the senior captain was talking about. If you hit that, offensive blue line, lacking speed, it's awfully hard, to find your way through.
Good shot by
Just another
Montez.
Snared glove save by DePasquo. Nice release. Don't love this face-off.
Minnesota now trying to scamper away. It's LJ Mooney. Sabo is back. Mooney takes him wide. That's off the blocker of Eberle. Cal Thomas now. It's McBrayer stealing that pass. McBrayer leads the charge. Gives to Dunlap. Back for McBrayer. He was closed down in front. Riley Thompson, the board work. That's his specialty. Abel over for McBrayer. Circling here is Dunlap. Didn't get through. McLaughlin blocked it. Abel holding in. Bobbles that puck. Hendrickson steal.
Executive I was talking about, just what can they do to continue to, elevate his game? If you can just get him just one step quicker to build speed through that neutral zone, which you talked about with Brody Lamb, that can be the difference of having a career versus not. We wrap things up, some pleasantries. It's been a tough go, a lot of close calls. You made mention the 1-goal games. Can they get this over the hump?
Ohio State has owned the face-off circle for the most part tonight. Here Lutke pulls it back to Pritchard. Rombach softly off the wall, tucked in front. Lutke denied there by Eberle. It's Davis Burnside.
Wise play there by Rombach. Shot wide at an angle where it would deflect out and possibly create a scoring chance for his team.
Another icing here.
Just eke in there a little ahead of the guy next to you to be able to collect that loose puck. Means a lot over the course of the game.
Gordon goes down, and Minnesota ends up possessing off the faceoff. Whipple.
Wow.
Begley the shot, and that's melted down by Eberle.
Yeah, quick play out of the corner there. Up to John Whipple, who moved it over in rapid fashion.
Carabella. Driven wide there. Off the stick of Ingles. Searching for it and out to center.
He almost was able to hold that puck in.
Dunlap again, shooting, big rebound. Whipple is there to knock it away. Now it's Isley the drive. That's blocked. Clever little play by Isley on the point. Ends up leading to a shot there straight away. But Luca DePasquo up to the task.
And DePasquo sharp in this set as we see this quick transition by the Buckeyes. Dunlap pulls back. A confusing faceoff setup for Minnesota. I'm surprised that Rombach's back in that position there. All the ties just like that are auto wins for the opposition.
Here's Montez in front, bangs home the rebound. Max Montez has evened the score for Ohio State.
Well, big face-off win here for Max Montez. He fires this one back to the defender, who actually fumbles it, but then has his head up. What a nice, deft pass there. And Max Montez will not be denied. Look at right here, the confusion for Minnesota. Rombach ultimately goes out, tries to block the shot.
On the follow-through, Gordon. William Smith from the point, bounding wide. Romaine now shooting. Townsend trying to clear it. Gordon and the Buckeyes holding it in. Pushed ahead by John Whipple for Townsend. Gives Minnesota a chance to change on the fly. Hendrickson the steal. Spots Brody Lamb. Lamb has a step. Lamb in on the rebound, scores! Brody Lamb sticks with it. Minnesota regains their lead on the road.
The captain makes a big play when they need it most. Turnover there, transition by Beckett Hendrickson here, and Brody Lamb is going downhill. Tries 5-hole, collects the rebound. Not much Eberle can do on that. He does a fine job on the first. Step back here.
That thing's huge laying on that. One-timer, Thomas. Eberle gets his body on it. Quickly turned in front, comes back to the point. McBrayer the drive. That's blocked by Thomas, I believe. Here's Davis Burnside. Little pass off the wall to himself. Flutters toward DePasquo. Nosing around for the rebound. It was Riley Thompson in front. Axel Begley up the boards. Dunlap. Isley punching it wide.
Just the Buckeyes have an offensive zone faceoff.
Niall Crocker. Ingles from the point. Minnesota trying to hang on. Isley's shot blocked by. Again pulled back by the Buckeyes. Sabo spreads it out. Felix Caron, the forward on the point there. Lucky.
Read that pop-out play perfectly. Carabella trying to find that dead space up high in the slot, but yet below where the forwards would be.
Carabella stripped of the puck. Empty net for Ziemer. And that's a winner for the University of Minnesota. They make it 5-3 with 1:21 to go in regulation.
Minnesota certainly felt the heat as Montez scored, tying things up. They answered in quick fashion. And Ziemer turns that puck over and is able to 4x6 that for the 5th of the night. Great game by Brody Ziemer, second of the game. Lutkey right there, excuse me, turning it over on the blue line, confidently holding his ground.
Lutke tonight just defensively seemed to be in the right place at the right time a lot.
You know, he's a great skater. Tonight, ironically, that's an unfair comparison. Matthew Knies done so well with Toronto. But he's going to be successful. Not an overly large player, but yeah, I think he's going to be able to crack the Sabres lineup.
Good play by Javon Moore. Spreads it around. John Middlestat, empty net there. Bounding wide. 20 seconds left. Hong on the point, ricochets off the skate of Gordon. Another empty net goal for Minnesota. This goes to the freshman Javon Moore.
He'll continue that trend line of the last 5 games. Really igniting offensively, big, rangy, used his speed, turned the Jets on a few times. Just an absolute freak athlete.
Doesn't hurt, sure they're empty net goals, but this is kind of what Minnesota needs to see, putting up 6 goals on the scoreboard.
Big for confidence. All of a sudden you can graduate a player like Javon Moore from, playing a little bit more offensive than he has been able to in the first half of the season. That's a big deal for Minnesota.
So a night that Minnesota allows the first goal, they come back and win this in fine fashion, doubling up Ohio State.